Hello, and this is Fabian Lim, and I just want to spend some time to talk to you about 2012, since it's just the first couple of days into this new year, and I do hope that you have a wealth creation plan that you are ready to implement in 2012 regardless of the economic condition. Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about the cash flow quadrant, and we have four quadrants. On the left hand side from the top we have the E, or the employment model, and we have the S, or self-employed model, that's below the E, and on the right hand side of the quadrant we have the B, which is the business quadrant, followed by the investor quadrant. And you know what, Kiyosaki talks about the fact that if you want to be rich, you have to focus on the right hand side quadrants, which are the B and I. B stands for business and I stands for investment. There are thousands and thousands of successful entrepreneurs who can attest to the importance of needing to have a business. And the reason why we want to start a business is because a business allows us to work on it and not in it, and there's a big difference. When you are working in the business, it means you're creating active income. And active income means that you have to be there 24/7, or rather 8 hours a day, to generate that income. So if you're going for holidays, your income stops. Now if you had a business and the business works for you, then it doesn't always mean that you don't have to do anything. That's the wrong notion that people have on a business. No, it means that you can substitute yourself. And being able to substitute yourself, if you're going to ask me, is a very key criteria to wealth creation. In fact, in most of the things that I do, whether it's internet marketing or stock trading systems or even consultancy, I start with the end in mind. And the end in mind and the goal is to actually fire myself. Because I know that's the only way I'm going to be able to generate wealth in the long term, and you really have to look at that. Now those of you in the employment model, I do understand that you're not able to fire yourself, and that in itself is the problem why you are not able to generate wealth. Now on the left hand side of the Kiyosaki quadrant, you have the E quadrant, which is the employment, and the S quadrant. Now what is common about both quadrants? Well, the commonality of both quadrants is the fact that both require your time. And remember, time is a very, very limiting resources. We only have 24 hours a day. We have the same amount of time as the most powerful man in the world, which is Barack Obama. But he has 1,001 things on his plate. So we have to take out the element of time if we want to really learn to generate wealth. And that means creating a system and letting the system work for you. Now on the internet, we're able to create that kind of system simply because our website replaces us in providing information.
Caution, G traffic, skydiving in progress, 4 miles south, east side of the freeway. G traffic, avoid the area.
So if you can imagine that you have a website, for example, and the website, well, doesn't even sell anything. It's generating leads. It's generating leads for a catering business. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, how can I make money?
Cessna 09 X-ray is turning.
Because I now have to close the deal and pick up the phone to speak to prospects. I have to deal with the caterers who are my suppliers. Well, those are components of the business, but herein lies the catch. No one's saying that you have to fulfill any of those activities. So you need to learn to differentiate between business activities, required activities that a business needs to undertake versus whether you are the resource for any one of those activities. Alright, so a business survives for a purpose to generate income, and activities has to be undertaken, but you don't have to be the one to undertake those activities, and that's what makes internet marketing pretty interesting. And what it is simply the fact that the required activities, back into the catering example, does require some resources, but the fact is that the expertise in internet marketing is that of putting together the web presence, getting the traffic from the search engines or wherever else you want to generate traffic, and that is quite frankly the most challenging part of the online business. Now once the site starts getting traffic, the rest of the activities, which is following up with the potential prospect or supplier, is a skill, quite frankly, that anyone can undertake. And if you think about this, it means that, if you have your mother-in-law who is not working, you have your neighbor who's staying at home and looking after kids, you could outsource these activities to these people and free yourself the time. Now what do you do with the time that you free yourself? Well, you go and build other businesses. In the catering niche, for example, there are so many businesses, sub-niches in catering. There's halal catering, there's buffet catering, there's wedding catering, there's church catering, there's even funeral catering. So the way you do it is to learn to focus on activities that will give you a high EPH. Now what is EPH? EPH stands for earnings per hour. So you want to be focusing your time on high value added earnings per hour activities and not spend time on the low value added earnings per hour, and that's how you build your wealth. But the problem is that the entrepreneur, even the internet entrepreneur, wants to do everything. Now you want to pick up the phone, you want to be talking to suppliers, you want to be doing so many things that you end up, mismanaging your time. And that is the reason why a lot of people don't succeed in any business, not even just the internet business. You don't see the McDonald's CEO serving you hamburgers, do you? Yeah? He's focusing on site selection, looking for the next franchise, trying to figure out
2 mile final, 2 left.
when to open up another outlet to multiply his income. And if these are activities that successful offline entrepreneurs undertake, as an online entrepreneur, you'll be undertaking the same thing. You'll be looking for opportunities, sub-niches, as I said, venture into maybe church catering, wedding catering, halal catering, build your second, third, fourth site, get more traffic, and then, again, outsource the low-value added activities, and you rinse and repeat. Now, is it that simple? It is that simple. Okay, so the key is, of course, to the B quadrant, and again, I'm very biased towards the internet business because it's really a knowledge business, something that you can pick up, go for training within 3 days, learn how to build a decent website, drive traffic to it, and you just have to be diligent and driven because once you learn the right techniques, the techniques work. And very soon you're going to have a business, and very soon you're going to be multiplying the business. Now, the business quadrant, if you ask me, is really just about it. Now, of course, some of you will say, hey, but this is internet marketing supposed to be a hands-off business. Well, it is, and it can be a hands-off business, as I said, just like the McDonald's franchise. If you had $1 million and you open up a McDonald's franchise, it can be hands-off with regards to the operations, but site selection, where to site your store as a major decision, who your competitors are, where you're going to be starting your McDonald's outlet, who your competitors are going to be. Is Burger King, KFC around the corner as well? Is there another hamburger food joint? Now these are strategic decisions that the business owner must take care of. But once the site has been selected and well, the plan for the business, for the build, for the construction, for the renovation takes place, once a customer walks into the door, well, pretty much everything else can be handled by the staff. And of course, as a business owner, if you own McDonald's, you have a very high earnings per hour target to hit, and you will not be serving burgers or making a french fries. Same thing with the online business. So I hope you are able to take one or two of my points that I just shared with you, that starting a business is not really difficult. But creating wealth from a business is really about resource management and time management, because you are your most expensive resource, since you're the one with the expert knowledge, and you just have to learn how to outsource activities. Now, one of the things about the online business that requires some level of expertise is the content creation.
7-8 Golf X-rays of Remo's work in the north side of the lake bed at 4,000 for the next 20 minutes.
And that being the case, content writing is not everybody's cup of tea. You may not have been a literature expert or an English expert for that matter. You may have failed comprehension, but the truth is that there are people out there that can write and can write for a lower EPH than you. We have countries like Philippines that have native English-speaking university graduates who can write articles for you.
Traffic helicopter 15 Tango 8 miles to the south on the west side of the 15 at 3,200. Gene.
Alright, I'm going to pause for a while and call my position. In traffic, helicopter 7026 Juliet, we are 3,500 feet. We are on the west side of I-15 and we are going to be overflying the airspace of G. Okay, sorry.
Helicopter, which way are you going? North or south?
We're going north.
Roger. So are we.
And we are about 1.5 miles west of I-15 and we will stay at 3,500 feet.
We'll stay at 315 Tango.
Alright, thanks a lot.
G-traffic sensor launch, taxiing down to 2 left for left downwind departure.
Alright, back to what I was talking about.
Traffic, 8 Hotel November is
It's
basic final 3 miles.
important for you to understand that there are, again, one more time, business components that are required, the activities to generate income, but you don't have to be the one to do everything. The critical component in an online business is for you to identify that niche, to be able to drive traffic, which is pretty much like site selection for a business owner who has a McDonald's franchise. Now everything else after that can be outsourced. For example, if you don't know how to create your website, you can outsource it. If you don't know how to create content, you can also outsource that. And obviously the activities that require following on prospects and supplies can also be outsourced. In fact, if you have very little time,
Traffic sensor on is taking 2 left.
you should consider
Downwind departure, Gene.
partnering even with people who are not internet savvy, because that's where they should be willing to do some of the tasks that you have no interest in doing. Now in outsourcing, you can always outsource through sites like odesk.com, that's odesk.com, for writers, for web programmers even, and guru.com, that's guru.com, and odesk.com is odesk.com. So, well, I hope this little encouraging talk can help point you into a direction. And if you need help, come to us. We are at clickevents.com.sg, clickevents.com.sg. For Malaysia, we are at clickevents.com.my, clickevents.com.my.
Traffic helicopter 15 Tango 3 miles to the southeast, east at the southwest at 3000, northbound, Gene.
And drop us a line. Yeah, drop us a line. Our contact information to officers
to the airport
around. So just understand that, you know, if you need expert knowledge,
Okay.
you can always get help. Help is always available. Well, expert help is always available. Right? So,
Extreme line, 5 minutes right, Skydivers 4 south to Gene Airport, just east of the 15 freeway. Please remain clear better for the next 15-20 minutes.
this is Fabian Lim, and here's wishing you a excellent, profitable,
Gene traffic, reload.
prosperous 2012, and take it from me. Let's not depend on the government, the economy, for wealth creation. Wealth creation must come from you personally. And in today's world, wealth creation is that knowledge, expertise that you possess to get yourself economically viable regardless of the actual situation itself. So I'll talk to you again, and this is Fabian Lim wishing you a happy and prosperous 2012. Have a great day ahead.